to me.
New
I am.
single, new everything. I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah,
Um, but first things first, I have to ask you,
yeah.
how have the last 6 months of your life been coming out of a global pandemic?
Fine. I tried not to let any of that stop me, to be honest. I started working on a new album last year, and we started releasing new music in April. And so life goes on. I started a podcast called Making Sound 2 years
Mhm.
ago now, and had some South African artists on that as well. So, just what are you gonna do? You got to keep going.
I feel like you just have this, like, you're just full of positive energy all the time. And like online, you're the same as when I speak to you. Like, you are always just positive and looking at things from a really great perspective. Is that work for you, or is that just you?
Well, I think I had to work at it.
Okay.
Like I don't think, life isn't simple or not or uncomplicated. It just is hard.
Yeah.
But once you accept that, I think your perspective changes. If you think life is all, roses, then it's not going to work. I think we have to work at it. You have to work at changing perspective. You have to work at finding the good things in your life that work and focusing on those. And I try to do that.
So you were working on an album, you were doing a podcast while the rest of us were getting fat and baking banana bread. We should have tried harder, Jan, but none of us really did. Um, were you, what
You.
space were you writing from? And is that work very different from previous work that you've done because of what was happening in the world?
Of course, it was my co-writer Alex Forbes and I, our sessions would become, they were like therapy sessions when we would have writing sessions. And we would just purge everything that we were going through, whether it was personal or professional. And it really helped. And we're different, we're very different people, and we don't agree on everything, but we agree that we can get along and that we can be creative together. And that difference, those two spaces, when they come together, they work really well. And like Sugar My, the single that you guys are currently playing,
Yeah,
thank you for that, by the way.
we love
And
that single.
thank you. I really appreciate the support. I really do. And Flesh and Blood, and half of the new album, which is coming out in 2023, is our co-writes with Alex. And like I said, we took everything that was happening and we just threw it into the music. So it was very therapeutic, and I love working with her. It was very helpful.
Were you writing online, like in Zooms and on Skype?
In person.
Oh, in person still.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of
Tried it.
people.
We tried the online thing, and we were like, forget this. Let's
Okay.
just get together. So we did.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask because I've been speaking to a lot of artists that did also write on albums throughout lockdown, and they were doing it online and they were having whole writing sessions on Zoom. And I've never written with someone, but I can imagine that like it would be more difficult for me to get into someone's brain and connect on that level that we need to through this. That this wouldn't work for me, I don't think.
We would supplement it online, but actually, like getting together in person, and you and I both know, it's the connection that you have online has come very far.
Mm.
We have FaceTime, we have Zoom, we have all these ways to visually connect, but it's still not the same as sitting in a room with the person, feeling their energy, looking them in the eye, and having that
Mm.
one-on-one connection. It will never make up for it completely. It's not possible.
So for this album working with Alex, did you have an idea of the songs? Did you go in there with something or was it completely from scratch?
It was completely from scratch. We when we started writing together, we every song we would go a little bit deeper, and we had more time, and we would get to know each other better, and we've become really good friends since. And so it was really like a whole new room. It was a whole new door that walked through, and I love collaborating, you know, as you know, and it was really in South Africa that started that whole collaborative process. When I did these BMI writers camps, you know, in 2000, was 2016, 2017, with people like Karen Zoid and you know, Zion and RJ Benjamin and Tamara Day, and I mean, there was so much talent there, and but that, like, it really started opening the door for me to collaborate more with
Mm.
people. So it was great training, and ever since then, I still write on my own, but I prefer to collaborate with others.
I think it's good for you. I think when you're alone, you isolate and you overthink. And I think when you're
Yeah.
with other people, it makes you look at it from a different perspective,
Yeah.
right? You're in,
That being said, some people are very good
oh
at
yeah.
working on their own, and you know, like Prince would worked on his own, you know, a lot, you know. So it was, but there's always there should be a balance, I think.
Mm. Okay, so talk to me about the new single that we're playing because I know that the video has released now sometime.
Correct.
Flesh and Blood. What is this? Tell me about the song for someone who has no idea.
So for someone that has no idea, it's, you know, I am flesh and blood, not a number. I am not like another. Find a place, find a way to become one.
Mm.
And those are the lyrics, and that's the song in a nutshell. You know, we wanted to write about getting back to connecting, getting back to nature. You know, the video set, there's no, you don't see buildings, um, uh, you don't see concrete, you just see trees and people. And so we wanted something that would hopefully remind us of that, what it feels like to be to be connected, but like to leave your cell phone and, you know, the industrialized world behind you for a moment,
Yeah.
and, you know, being tracked by everybody on the planet when you make a phone call or send an email or post something on socials.
Yeah.
You know, remember that. And that's what the song is about.
It's so incredible for me how the universe works because so many of us go through the same thing and think the same things, and yet we don't communicate that we're in these places, right? Or these mental spaces. And then someone like you will release the song, and there'll be conversations around it, and we'll realize that we're all feeling very overwhelmed by technology. And
Mm.
I was actually speaking to my life coach not so long ago, and he said to me, "When last have you had analog time?" And I'd never heard that phrase before. And I had to actually sit back and go, I don't remember when last I went and put my feet on the grass or sat in the sun. And we are so blessed living in South Africa. We have all of these things all the time, but we're so consumed by this stupid thing in our hands that this is all we look at. So I am ready. And also, I think very importantly, message is human connection, right? Because the
Yeah,
global pandemic removed us all from each other. But
yeah.
we are communal animals. We want to be part of a community, but we don't know how to do that anymore. So thank you for this anthem. I think it's our anthem for 2022.
Thank you. I hope people will enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. We really did. It was a lot of fun.
Jan, just on the more that analog side of life, do you have practices in your day that you do to ensure that you still stay grounded and connected?
Yes, I do. So I run almost every day, and I don't take my phone with me, and I don't take earbuds. I don't listen to music. I just completely disconnect. I
You
leave
just
the phone at
run.
home.
You
I
just
just run.
run. Wow, okay.
Yeah. And it's my me time. It's my disconnect time.
Okay.
No.
How did you begin that? Because surely when you first start that, the first day without earbuds or phone, you I would be fighting in my head about everything and that
But
noise.
that's the point, you know, you have to take time to filter everything out and let everything kind of work its way through, you
Okay.
know, like it's so important. And I don't think we do that enough. I think we constantly bombard ourselves. So how can we not be overwhelmed? Of course you're going to feel that way.
Mm.
You have to take that time. You can't just leave it to sleep. You know, you have to take time when you're awake to do the same thing.
You see, the universe is messaging me hard today. Is the rest of the album about a similar message, or are they all different songs?
They're all different songs. You know, there are some, I found a couple of older gems that I'd never released.
Okay.
You know, I experimented with new sounds with my producer Marcus Dembinski. There are more electronic elements in the record, still using live instruments for everything. Um, it's probably going to be my favorite of all my albums. I love In Tandem. Like making In Tandem in South Africa was awesome. I mean, I nearly, you know, I mean, I nearly, let me turn off my, I thought I had this turned off, damn it. You know, the work that I put that and the time, you know, it was a very draining uh, album to make In Tandem. You know, like I tell people I almost died making that record, you know, both financially and emotionally. But then I was talking to Shakana, my friend Shakana, and we talked about this, and she said, "Yeah, you die a little when you make an album." And I was like, "That's it. You do." You know, and but this one here was a very different pace. Like it was much more. Of course, I also have like label support. Then I mean, In Tandem got me a record deal, you
Okay.
know, and my career really changed after that record, you know, and this was this making what we I think we'll call the album Surrender. Will was a much more a freer process, you know, where having label support and also having Marcus Dembinski, the producer I'm working with, who I'd never worked with before, and so I like the dynamic. You know, we had a lot of time where we just worked the two of us,
Mm.
so it was a much smaller creative process. Whereas when I was making In Tandem, we would have, you know, 10, 15 people on one song.
Yo.
So there were a lot more people involved making that record, which made it a lot harder, also added another dynamic to it, you know, another creative dynamic. But so this is very different. But you know, hey, you know, I don't know if there's a better or worse thing, you know, when you're making an album. You have to be in the moment with it and go with what's working. And if it's working, you it'll work out.
And I think it will. When is the album due? Do you have a date yet, or
We don't have a date, but it will probably be February of 2023.
okay,
The
will you
release
be
date.
touring it?
Yes, we will be touring in South Africa with it in
Okay.
March, April, around there. Yes.
Okay. Where
Hope
can
to
we
see.
find? I am coming. I'm coming. For analog time, I'll even leave my phone at home.
Maybe that's what I should call the record, Analog Time.
Analog time. It's a good thing. Jan, where can we find out more about the tour?
Just, you know, go to my socials, Jann Close, JANNKLOSE. If you punch that in, you'll find everything. There's a way to subscribe on my website, and you know, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all the stuff I want to leave behind me.
Yes, exactly. I actually deleted all of that stuff today. Everything.
Did you?
I did. I
What?
really did. Yeah. I scheduled for the week and then I deleted. I have nothing. I don't even have emails on my phone. My phone is now for phoning, which is very strange.
Wow,
Yeah. It's
that's cool.
scary.
I I'm gonna not try that. I'm scared.
No, I think, you know what? The only thing that you can't schedule is TikTok. So what's the point of having everything all the time? You don't need it.
Yeah,
I'll let you know how it goes. I've already picked up my
please.
phone about 25 times today to like open Instagram and there's no Instagram, but we'll see. Um, Other than avoiding social media and spending some analog time, what are you busy with at the moment?
So we are trying to get a show scheduled that we want to film, where we want to have a live audience here in on the East Coast somewhere, maybe in Connecticut, where we've been shooting a lot of the content for the videos. You know, so we're trying to get that scheduled. I'm finishing up the record, and you know, other than that, I'm just trying to just enjoy life, quite honestly. You know, I have some trips coming up next month to Florida where I'm playing a festival and some other shows, and so honestly, I'm just trying to enjoy the rest of the summer here and getting into fall in New York, which is beautiful. That's it, really, you know.
I feel like you're in a really good space. I feel like
I
your
am. I think
energy
I
is
am.
good. You seem good.
Thank you. I am good, you know. I think I got a new appreciation for everything that is good in life
Hmm.
out of all of this, out of the last couple years,
Wow.
you know. And I don't know, maybe it's just time, and maybe it's I think I've done a lot of work too,
Yeah.
you know, to let go of a lot of negativity, negative people, negative energy, you
Mm.
know. I just don't want to buy that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to have fun. And if someone gets enjoyment out of that as well, great. If not, we'll get it somewhere else.
Well, it's working. The new song is amazing. You
Thank
look good, you sound good, and I cannot
Ditto.
wait for your tour. I
Ditto.
really,
Yeah.
really
I
can't.
hope I hope I don't get an out of office forever, you know, email reply from you. You
Is it
turned
still
everything off.
is it still on?
Oh no, no. It's
Oh,
I don't know.
oh, it probably is because I don't think I turned it off. Sorry. Anyway,
Well, Mel will put us in touch, I'm sure.
definitely. Jan,
Yeah.
thank you for your time. I know that it is precious to you, and I'm really appreciative.
Jacaranda FM.